out here in Bali for a couple years. We've been building different businesses and been doing that. And then let's see, May. I think it was May. Yeah, maybe end of April, probably the very end of April. My wife, Leah, her back went out, and she had never had that happen before. It's happened to me many times. If anyone's ever had their back go out, it's quite painful. And she was able to reach out to somebody who had a Healy device, and they helped her out a little bit through a remote session from Australia to Bali.
So, okay, for everybody who doesn't have the Healy in here yet, I mean, that sounds a little bit crazy, but this is next step and next level. But it's actually quite an interesting experience that you had.
Yeah, she experienced some relief.
So she was, the lady with the Healy was where?
In Australia.
And Helia was where?
In Bali.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was her first experience.
That was her first experience. So it was enough that we were curious about it. And, how could a device do something like that from far away? And we know about remote energy healing, but this was quite extraordinary. So in her upline is Taryn, who I think everybody knows Taryn. We were able to get a hold of Taryn and come over to Max and Taryn's house, which is just really right the next street over here.
Over the beach.
Yeah, right up the beach on the next street over. And we were actually both able to use her Healy device in person. And we were both sold. I had some sleep problems, and the residents had suggested some sleep program things. And that night I slept like a baby, and for the next week slept like a baby. And Leah, she healed her back that day, like left with no back pain.
So
yeah.
That actually, now, I want to say that, like, when I met you guys the first time, we had a small gathering, maybe 30 people or so.
Yeah.
In Ubud, which is a nice, beautiful place, 1 hour, like in the middle of Bali. And I remember I met you guys there, and the second time I met you was like 2 or 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
And then you said to me, you already have 100 people, or almost 100 people to this time in your first line.
In our first, yeah, directly enrolled.
So just to clarify that, and that's why we have that column. We call it like build it fast and build your genealogy deep. Because these guys build it so fast. I couldn't even believe it. The first time we met, we were just being introduced. Yeah, introduced. They listen to the presentation. They see like what's going on with Healy. You had obviously your session.
We had already had this. So I already believed in Healy, but I hadn't done anything with the business. It was the day before we got started in the business.
And then the second time I meet them, it was like 3 weeks after. They tell me about almost 100 first lines, right? Yeah. That means they recommended the Healy to 100 people directly.
Yeah, we had 100 people directly enrolled within 2 or 3 weeks.
And now, did you have a Healy already for this time?
No, we didn't even have the Healy yet. We had used it, but we didn't have our own personal. We had to get, because of the logistics and everything, we had to have our Healy sent from Singapore to Australia. And then from Australia, in order to send it to Bali, it had to get rerouted back through Singapore to Bali. So altogether, and that's just the craziness with the logistics. And at the time, this was May, so Corona was kind of a new thing. And it took us about 3 weeks to a month to get our actual device. But we kept going over to Max and Taryn's house and using Taryn's device.
So how many people did you enroll personally, and how many people roughly in your organization before you received your Healy?
Before we received our Healy, I think we had close to 100 directly enrolled. With the sun's kind of going at a weird
on the head.
Yeah, it's just like cutting me half.
Yeah, but it's cool.
That's all right. Yeah,
nice and colorful, and it's shiny on the head.
Yeah, that's all good. I mean, maybe into the. We had close to 100, I think, directly enrolled, and close to 1,000 in our overall organization.
And that's incredible.
Yeah. Now we're at about 2,000 in our.
That's incredible.
Organization.
Because, I mean, the amazing thing now, what I see is like Healy as a device has, like, we are in the energy business, right? We're doing something with energy here, obviously, and it's so mind-blowing that you were able to like distribute 1,000 Heelys even without touching or like without owning a Heely yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe you can explain a little bit like how did this happen? Like how were you able in this short amount of time without a Heely sharing 100 devices first line? You know, like how did you do that?
So, you know, my wife and I both are of the everything is mindset. Everything. From where the way I look at the universe or look at life itself, everything is mental. Everything takes place in mind first, and all is mind from how I look at things. So everything of creation starts with an intention. And I know it sounds cliche and simple, but it starts with an intention. And then what is the energy behind that intention? After we had met Max and Taryn and used the device and experienced the healing, there was this overwhelming feeling of there's no one on the planet that this wouldn't serve in some way. That I would be in service to anybody that I introduced to this product. So that's where it starts. And in our conversations, we had this sort of global vision right off the bat of, wow, with all the problems and turmoil that's going on in the world, what if we were able to raise the energetic frequency of the entire planet? I mean, that's what all the group meditations we had been in, you know, meditation days where the whole world's meditating together. It's all in an attempt to raise the vibrational frequency of the collective, of everybody.
And exactly, Leah just said that, like, we have a Q&A box. You can put your questions in the Q&A box, not in the comments. But now what's interesting to me, and probably to everybody who's listening, how did you do that? Like, how did you reach out to people?
This is the important part. So first, the intention, right? And then
so you made a decision.
We made a decision first. Made a decision. We were all in, had the intention. We were crystal clear, focused. And then, you know, Leah and I both come from Salt Lake City, which is like the multi-level marketing capital of the world. The Mecca, really. In fact, in the United States, that's where the distribution center is, of course, because every MLM that's ever come out of the United States, I swear, is just.
Did you ever join another company before?
And we didn't. That was the thing. We had been introduced over and over and been to a million presentations, and we both had a distaste for MLM. And so we had been approached a million times. And in fact, you know, when I first heard about this device, that it was MLM, my thing was, well, I want the device, but I won't get involved in the business. But when I experienced the result of using the product, I was like, it would be treasonous to not share this with as many people as I can. But when we talk about the specifics of how did we build so fast, there was a paradigm shift that was different from any other multi-level marketing model. And it's this social sharing model. So instead of being in this thing where I'm like, okay, I'm going to market this business to other people, my mindset was, I want to get this device in the hands of anyone who's suffering on any level, that this device might add value and ease suffering in those people's lives. So as I went through my list and my wife went through her list of just all our contacts, we have, you know, all of our email lists, our Facebook lists, our Instagram, whatever, as we went through and we're discerning, you know, this person for sure will reject that. You know, you can go through, this person is into energy healing. This person is open-minded. This person is science-minded. Anyone who was science-minded, open-minded, or understands like energy healing or meditates or does yoga or, you know, has some sort of spiritual practice, we knew that they would get it just like that. Whereas, you know, you discern through, there's people who just, I consider they're basically animated. You know, we all have friends like that. They just get up, go to work, watch TV, go to bed, you know, are, you know, animated, just living a program. So those people, they might get exposed to this product by looking at my Facebook feed, at my feed or something. But the ones that I sent messages to directly were those that I, you know, fell into those categories: open-minded, science-minded, spiritually minded. And I definitely didn't sell the business at all. And in fact, I didn't sell anything. All I did is there were a couple of videos that were really great, and we can connect those videos later, that were 1 minute to 3 minute videos that just exposed people to the product. And I literally, all I sent to these people was, have you seen this device before? And then a video that exposed them to that.
And then they would say,
That was it.
They said no.
Yeah, most people would respond and say no. And then most people would have clicked the video and they'd be like, that looks cool. And if they responded back, hey, that looks cool, I'd be like, do you want more information? I'm happy to send you more information about this. So, this is the most non-salesy sale there is. That's all I did, is just ask people, have you heard about this device? And then sent a little video that was the device. That's it.
Providing information. So most of the contacts came from Facebook, you would say, or was it Instagram?
Yeah,
or
Facebook, email, mostly Facebook for sure.
Yeah.
But I used all my platforms. I slowly went through and discerned, I think this person would be open-minded. In these relationships with this person, do I know certain things, like that they're suffering from some sort of, problem, right? Like
everybody does.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody's got a problem.
Everyone has something you want to improve in your life. So
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing about Healy.
Yeah.
Right?
So some were athletes, some were, people with, injuries or.
Well, not even,
Yeah.
sometimes it's maybe just like, I don't sleep yesterday, so
Yeah,
today I need
exactly.
some more energy.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
You've seen somebody on their Facebook complaining about this or that or the other. And it's like, I always say the gold mines and the value is always in when you hear, hey, that sucks. Whenever you hear someone say that sucks, well, if you can solve that problem, you're going to be, that's to me the whole meaning of life. And we end up getting blessed both in the way we feel about ourselves and serving our fellow man. And then in this case, we're also blessed financially because there's a reward, through us being the marketing tool for this. But I really want to emphasize that the way we built so fast was, hey, have you heard of this? Then if they were like, wow, that looks cool, then an ask, do you want more information? And once they're engaging, it's all about listening to the person and finding out, what are you suffering from? And if you can find out in their life what sucks, and Healy is a tool to alleviate what sucks, there's no selling necessary. They're the ones going, how do I get involved in this? And then once they experience it, most of them are like, well, I may as well share this with people too. And if I do share it with people, I may as well get paid or upgrade my device.
I want to know, like, your steps in your mindset. Like, obviously, like, first was you got in touch with Healy the first time. Somebody reached out to you, right? Yeah. So Kathleen reached out to you, right? Yeah. So how did she introduce Healy to you? Like,
she saw the exact same thing. Leah had posted on her Facebook, this sucks, my back is out. And Catherine noticed in oh, that sucks. I have something that will help where that sucks. And she reached out to Leah and said, hey, I've got this device. Would you like me to run a remote healing for you? And then when Leah, when Leah experienced great results, we further, went in. And we're not making any claims.
No, by the way, guys, here, this is personal testimonials, personal experience. Whatever, it's never ever any medical claim. We know we are in different countries. We have different rules. We have different regulations. In Germany, in Europe, we are medical class 2 device. In America, we are FDA certified. But
and
all these things,
and FDA has certified it as an aid in healing chronic pain. So
right. So there are certain things we can talk about. But anyway, FDA cleared, not certified. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So either way, it's personal experience what we're sharing here. So there's no way we're going to talk about anything else than just using a beautiful wellness device. So once again, I just want to really understand that. So then, obviously, you're the kind of guy you're a little bit like me. You're very open-minded. Yeah. But you're also not stupid. You're not jumping into things. So what is exactly your mindset, and how would you put things together that you actually trust and make a decision in something?
So the truth is, there's only one thing in this world that I trust: results only. And so for me, all mindset comes from this place of being both equally skeptical and trusting at the exact same time. So if I hear of something, what I do is I do my best. What'll happen is I have a bias immediately. Either that's bullshit or that sounds good. But it doesn't matter, because either way, it's just a belief. So I always go to this place of saying, whatever I believe, try to wipe it clean and don't believe, but hold every piece of information that comes my way and hold it with equal parts trust and skepticism. So if I trust in it, I go, well, let me check and make sure. Or if I don't trust it, if I don't believe in it, I go, well, let me check and see what it does and see if the claims, or see what are my results. And the only thing I trust in this world are results. Everything else can lie. I can lie, my family can lie, my mind can lie, my memories can lie, the newspaper can lie, advertising can lie, everything can lie. But I found that one thing that never lies is results. So if I get results, then I continue to be skeptical and trusting even of those results until I start to build a track record. And then I still am staying open-minded to, being equal parts trusting and skeptical. So that's where it starts, I think, for me.
Like open your mind, say, okay, I'm okay with this. Let's see what happens. And then the result came in and you said, okay, now I have the fact. Now I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Now I go for it.
Well, and I wouldn't say convinced. I mean, I still to this day stay equal parts trusting and skeptical. I pay attention to the results in my life, and the results in my life is that I keep thriving further and further and further in every aspect. My health, my relationships, my fitness, my finances, my ability to serve, my standard of living keeps going up. I mean, we just moved into this villa 2 weeks ago, and that's a result of all of this stuff. But it's how clear-headed I am, and how spiritually centered I am, and how much access I have to what I call, some people call it the Akashic records. I call it infinite intelligence, the ultimate source of data. Some people call that God, the cosmos, whatever, intuition, natural knowing. But having a deeper access to that at all time keeps me present, keeps me centered. And that, to me, is life. Like, being in the moment, being in the now is life. When I am present right in this minute, I can feel the enthusiasm, the excitement. I can feel the connection with you, and I feel connection to this whole community and all of this. And when I'm feeling that and present in life, then life is happening to me. And it's interesting. Sometimes I find myself where I'm just like, I'm tuned out. I'm scrolling Facebook or something, out. And then it's like, who's running my life at that point? It's like that is being animated. Something else, some sort of program is actually pulling my strings, and I'm an animated avatar. So anything that can continually put me back into the moment and into the present enhances life, because that's the only time I can experience life.
See, this is actually, you said something so beautiful before, and that's based on your own experience. It is, and that's again, like even he directly brought in so many people into having an experience with Healy. His mindset was always on serving. Yeah. It's like, because you have this amazing experience for yourself, you want to share it to as many people as possible. Yeah. And that's the amazing thing about Healy, and this is also one of the reasons why he hasn't joined any other company. There are amazing products out there, right? But there's also some kind of, it's always the business promise, the lifestyle promise. I mean, right now there is a lifestyle promise right behind us, right? But it's not about that lifestyle.
It's not a guarantee.
And it's not a guarantee, and it doesn't matter, right? It's the moment you find something which is really sincerely helping, and it's about the greater good of people. This is where, when it boils down to be successful as well. And maybe I tell a little bit about my story as well. Like I was
going to ask you when, and you can tell the story. Go ahead. You tell the story first, and I have some questions for you.
Okay. So when I first started looking into Healy, that was 2019. I think it was February or March, where the thing came to my hand. It was like, for me, I was looking for the next big business opportunity. It was something I wanted to make more money, be more, start doing my get my financial dreams. And then I get this product into my hands, which basically has no competition, right? And I talked to the founder. I was blessed to meet him, Marco Schmiedke. And he was telling me everything is frequencies and there's a program for everything and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, way too good to be true. Way too good to be true. But if it's true, then we're disrupting multi-billion-dollar industries with a product, which is absolutely amazing. Long story short, I didn't really understand about helium. You know, to this time it was new. Now, right now we have this beautiful advantage that we have communities. We have people like Sean. We have people like yourself. We have people like me who already have this experience of sharing heli, right? And we have thousands of people doing this. And now it's very easy to get information. To this time before, it was so new to people, right? It was not easy. You want to get out of the sun a little bit?
One more over.
No, move it a little bit. Sorry, you need to put him out of the sun. So,
Starting to sweat pretty quickly.
yeah, it's hot here.
We're right at the equator, and when that sun hits you direct, woo!
So what I'm trying to say is, in the beginning, it was for me, it became like almost pressure to sell it, you know, to convince people and talk to them. And we had all kinds of objections. You know, there was always an objection. How come nobody knows about it? You know, how should this work? You know, it's MLM, you know, it's blah, blah, blah. It's this. We had to face all these objections, and I'm blessed with, I can talk, you know, same with him. Everybody, we can talk, you know, so I can talk and convince people. But it was like almost like hitting a threshold. It was always like pressuring something into people's mind that I was convinced about, but deep inside of me, what do I really wanted? I wanted to make money. You know, that was my intention. My intention was making money, creating this business, you know, having something amazing where I can go from the get-go, you know, building those markets, building a business, you know. But my intention was not about serving. My intention was really about making money and make that sale out there. And while I did this, I really felt pressure. I really felt like it is not easy, right? Selling is not easy. Eventually, like, of course, I was successful to a certain extent. You know, many people started using Healy, and of course, the product sells itself, no matter what. You know, as you said, there are some people that just resonate with this. And eventually, I found that so many people have this, like Sean, like Leah, like so many of you guys had these profound experiences, life-changing experiences. Some experiences I don't even want to mention here, but you already heard about it, that have really changed so many lives in so many beautiful ways, that something shifted in me as well. And I started shifting from exactly what you said, you know, from selling into serving. Yeah. And today, like, for me, there is nothing more beautiful than really, I mean, if you wake up here and read testimonials at the same time, then seeing these experiences, you know.
Max is here for breakfast
every morning.
Often lunch and dinner, pretty much every day.
Every morning, and lunch and dinner, yes, for a reason. So it's about what we're doing, you know. It is a product which comes with a beautiful business opportunity, but it's not only the lifestyle and the business opportunity. The product itself does so many beautiful things to so many people already that it really becomes our responsibility to share. And when you have this responsibility, you have that duty, you have that obligation, that mindset of serving out there, that you really want to help people. Nothing is difficult, and no objection will ever put us down, because it doesn't matter. What is an objection? If you want to help somebody, you come from a good space. We come from a space of love, and you want to create something amazing for somebody else, because you know so many people were helped with that. You know already so many people can afford a beautiful lifestyle by becoming free and abundant to this amazing, weird time what we're in right now, that you want to serve and you want to help people. And then suddenly, this is where my business took off. This is where my business took off.
And I want to get into that, because you made vice president pretty quickly. And if you understand the structure, you know, how kind of go into how you became vice president, because that's pretty remarkable. You've been involved in this in a year and a half, and then we'll talk. Then we'll go into how you go deep.
Yeah. I mean, basically, look, there's two things on it. Like, I love what he did. You know, the 100 sign-ups. I'm a little bit different on that. I mean, now he has the opportunity to build wide and deep. You know, he has like 100 people on the first level, and he can go deep. Yeah. I have now over 60,000 people in my organization, and I have maybe directly sold 25 Heelys, and I maybe work with maximum 2 handful of people on a continuous basis. You know, because I pick and choose those leaders in my organization who really going for it. Yeah. You know, those people who really make the difference. And you can easily see that, you know, by seeing the efforts of how they want to share the device. And that's the amazing thing about this product as well, because never, ever, ever underestimate anybody. You know, for me in the beginning of building the business, and maybe for you guys who are starting out there, it is for me, like what I visualize always is like, I don't know, you know, maybe that picture of those 7 lions, they walk, you know, and it says like, find your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I see it when you want to build your business. Like you want to have your tribe, your lions next to you, right? So who in your organization or who in your network would you like to have your partner being on your side? You know, for example, it could be a therapist who gives you credibility and experiences, knowledge. It could be an athlete, you know, who has an influence on other athletes. It could be a social media marketing person, but it could also be maybe a 65-year-old woman who's suffering from whatever all her life, uses the Healy, and the Healy just gives her this profound experience, and she loves that Healy, and she goes out and shares everything out of it. So we can never underestimate anybody when we start a business. But I think on the business mind of things, you know, it's 2 sides. Yes, we want to share the Healy to as many people as possible and help people. But we also need to think, if you want to start your business, who do you want to have next to your side in order to, you know, be this tribe of lions, go out and build that business. And it's interesting, like my main leader in Thailand, she's absolutely amazing. She's my partner in so many things, and she's nothing like a networker. She's not a speaker. She's a nerd. You know, she is a nerd. She's a lovely nerd. She's extremely intelligent. She's organized. She's structured. She's all the things I'm not. And that's why we're working so well together. So it's like when you see her, she had never anything to do with networking, but she fall in love with this device. She fall in love with helping people. She fall in love with her, oh, I can build something here and I can be this entrepreneur that I want to be and that I wasn't able to be in different businesses before. And she came up and just skyrocketed, right? So that's one person. So we can't ever underestimate people. And of course, by seeing her providing this value, I hold her close to me and we go out and do those things together. And then I have another 5 people I'm really doing that for.
And something that blew me away. So, you know, Leah and I, once we had sort of exposed the people that we thought that were interested in our immediate connections or our you know, immediate, our first level enrolled, all right? It started to feel for me like, okay, now what? And I started feeling like I've sort of plateaued here. And I asked you, I went to Max, because Max is really doing well in this business. And I said, what, you know, how do you do it where you're making it so much? And he said this thing to me. He said, I reach deep down and I find the, you know, whether it's 2nd level down, 3rd level down, 4th level down, even if I'm not getting like the matching bonus on someone way down, if they're in my binary line, if I see that they're kicking ass, I nurture it. I get the juice. And when you said that to me, I was like, oh, so once you've gone and introduced it to the people that you think are interested, you've gone through discerning between your friends who might be interested or not. And whether it ends up like with the 2 of us, me and Leah, having 100 people, or with you 25 people, or if somebody has 10 people, 5 people, it really doesn't matter. After that, as they start to share it and you see, oh, that guy's really working hard. Explain that from there. Take that from there, because the way you said that to me, I was like, oh, this is how the business gets really fun. Yeah. And then I have a follow-up question. But yeah. Go with that.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember we are not in the direct sale business. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like 100 direct sales is amazing. It's crazy, but eventually, exactly, you plateau. Like Sean and Leah, they might plateau. Like we don't know who of our personal contacts now is still available and up for it, right? So, but again, if they have 100 contacts who, you know, up for Healy, all of your 100 contacts has also 100 contacts who are up for Healy. So what Sean had to do and what we're doing in order to build deep is we're going to reach out to our 100 contacts and ask them, hey, who in your contact, who in your network might like Healy? Who in your network Healy could help? So let's reach out to that people. And then we come to one very important thing, which is edifying. You know, it's like it is once again, we are not in the direct sale business. And the most difficult thing of all what we're doing is getting out the first 3, 4, 5 Heelys. I tell you, this is the most difficult. That's why it's so amazing what you have done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like because this direct selling by being by yourself, it's crazy. It can be tough, right? But don't forget, we're doing the beautiful thing about social selling, what I like to call it, instead of network marketing, because this is what we do. We're building teams, we work together, right? So now imagine you reach down to somebody in your organization and say like, hey, how can I help you, you know, to reach out to your contacts? Because I have obviously success already. I have the experience. I have talked a lot to other people with testimonials. I have my own testimonials. How can I help you? And that person might say, yes, there might be somebody I would like to introduce it to. So let me contact that person, then maybe put you together in a 3-way call. So now Sean can share his experience to somebody else in his organization who was brought in from somebody in your organization. Right. And you work together as a team.
To get them under you.
Exactly. Which is helping that person now who Sean brought into the business in order to build his business. So what he's creating now with that is, first of all, he knows that person, like he gets support now from you. Yeah. That feels amazing. He works as a team. There are 2 energies now. It's Sean and that person below him who talking to the next person, and 2 times sharing testimonials, experiences, and whatever. So it becomes like this flow of energy, which is so much better than just working by yourself. And this is basically how I built my whole organization. Eventually, now today, I'm not signing up anybody anymore. You know, I'm sometimes somebody insists, you know, and they say like, Max, no, you're the only one sponsoring me. Okay. Maybe. But what I really try to do is I will try to find somebody in my organization that say that person is from Switzerland, you know. Then I have some people in Switzerland, they're in my organization. So I will connect those people together and say like, okay, let's have a 3-way call. The person from Switzerland who wants to work with me and the person from Switzerland who's already working with me. Now let's put them together, because what I do is, first of all, I delegate, because I create a team in Switzerland. The sponsor, the new sponsor, he will be extremely motivated and happy, because what I do also is I give my direct bonus away to that person. Because now I'm in a position with 60,000 people in my binary that I don't really, of course, I can have a direct bonus, $500 more or less. It's great, but I don't need to. For me, it's way more important to have that person in Switzerland now feel motivated and say like, wow, I just made $500 for somebody who just came into my life because Max gives that person to me. And now, of course, I'm feeling responsible and I feel like I want to work with that person. You know, for me, it means like, I'm a little bit hands off, because I don't want 100 people calling me for problems, for helping this and this, you know? Yeah. So I'm happy to delegate that, you know, it's a good, but if you can manage, I mean, there's 2 people of you guys.
And there's 2 of us, and we have an assistant, and we had some successful businesses before this. So we had the resources to hire
absolutely you can.
Things like that.
You can, and now with 100 direct people, you just imagine, just make the math. If every one of these 100 people has 10 contacts like Eli, if every one of these 10 contacts, because now 1,000 people has another 10, we are 10,000 in the 3rd level, and so forth. You get the math, right? Yeah. So how do you want to build? You want to build deep as possible. You want to work with the context of the context of the context, right? And what are the benefits of it? Like, first of all, you're building this organization so deep and so wide that you don't really, eventually I can step away now from the business, and the business will probably run anyway, right? But the next thing, what I love so much is connection. Like, I work together with people from Asia, somewhere in Thailand, somewhere in Singapore, or in the US. They're in my 7, 8, 9 level. I'm not even connected through my matching bonus, but I'm connected through relationship now with them. You know, it's like I'm getting to know people. And you're connected in
that binary leg too.
Of course. And this is how you create these beautiful relationships, and they are long-term. And I see, we are here for the long run. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon, right? So we want to do a long-term business, because what we do is we have the most amazing disrupting technology on the world market. Yeah. And we have a billionaire backing up this company. And just remember, we are a startup. And what is the most fundamental risk of every startup is running out of money. We can't run out of money. You know, I mean, there is always a risk, but the opportunity is so high, it's off the risk profile. It's off the chart. You know, so think about long-term. What do you want to do long-term? You want to build great teams. What are you going to do with teams? You want teams to be in the same area, teams to be in the same mindset. You don't want to stick the same people together, right? Yeah. And this is how you work deep, basically. And this is how I kind of made it to become vice president and have 60,000 people in my organization. Trust me, I didn't look for sales. I didn't think too much about it. I just feel these people can work together. let's work them together. I give the most support I can do with videos, webinars, three-way phone calls. Maybe this is also something you have to do is edification.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk before we continue is really if I come to the business and somebody reaches out to me and say like, hey, you have you heard about Healy? Send me that video what you did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then I know that guy, and it's a friend of mine. And my first intention I feel from that person is that person might want to sell me something, right? Especially when I have a personal relationship. For some reason, you always have this resistance if somebody you know, a friend,
Exactly.
comes and want to introduce you
That's
to
what
something.
turned us off from MLM
Years.
every time. Yeah, every time.
But now if I have that friend who is connected to Sean because Sean is the upline, and now Sean reaches out to me, you know, and I'm disassociated from the whole emotional connection I have to that person, and we have this three-way conversation. I want to listen to you because I respect you. You're a stranger to me. You have success in the business. You know, it's a different vibe. It's a different feeling. So we got to use these connections, what we're building. You know, how many times I get invited to some webinars over to the US, over to Thailand, just because the people heard about me, they're being edifying me. It's like, what a blessing, you know, that people like being nice to me and saying nice things about me, but it edifies me, right? And it helps the people in the organization to, you know, get me in there, and then I can, you know, build trust to the new people. It's all about we are working together. This is what we do, and this is the beauty about this business. Work together as teams, and this is how we build bigger structures, bigger organizations, bigger teams. And this is how we share more Healys, how we help more people, and how more people have these amazing benefits of frequencies, and how more people have lifestyle opportunities like that. Simple as that.
But it's so interesting when back in the 80s, when I was in college, there was this fear in the United States that Japan was going to take over the international market. And I remember taking a Japanese economics class. And at the time before that, there was this old model that basically there's a limited supply and there's demand for things. And so the old model of economics was like, here's the pie and here's my slice of the pie. And if I want to get more, then I need to get somebody else's slice of the pie. I need to take something from someone else in order to get more for myself. That was the old economic model. And this sort of Japanese mindset at the time was that, no, what you do is you figure out your slice. So I get my people enrolled, and then I put all of my energy into making the pie bigger. And as the pie gets bigger, everybody's piece gets bigger towards the top. It's a really interesting model and mindset. So once you know have discerned and reached out to your people, there's your slice of pie. At that point, by putting all the energy back into Healy itself, no matter who it is, it doesn't matter whether I'm gonna get a direct result right now. It stops this need for immediate gratification, and put the energy. And this is what I gathered when you said that to me that day. I was like, I got this vision, and now I'm so pumped because I see how I can be in this for the long term. I see how I can put energy into this for the long term. So there's that build fast off the bat, which is great. That's awesome. It gives you a good foundation. The more people you can get in your directly enrolled, the better this first foundation. But that's not where the juice is. That's sort of where your where your piece of the pie starts. And then it's just put all the energy into the whole pie, the whole pie, the whole pie. The pie grows, and your piece of pie grows, and so does everybody else's piece of pie grows. And when I saw that, it's like, wow, this is a fulfilling endeavor. This is something that I can really give my energy and my heart and my soul to. And it's not hard. I'm not forcing it. And personally, I haven't sold one person. I have not sold a device, and I have not sold a person. I've shared and served, and people bought.
And invited.
Yeah, and invited. And people who wanted it were like, may I please have a link to get this?
Yeah, it's really like we have to go away. Like I'm trying not to use those words anymore, selling and convincing.
Yeah.
Because all we do is sharing and inviting.
Yeah.
This is what we do. Like we have so many amazing testimonial groups. We have so many Facebook groups. We have videos that we can share. Like really, if you come from the mindset of I want to help somebody else have this amazing experience, I want to create my tribe and have somebody else maybe become free in the business they're doing, you know, live wherever they want. Like you got to have that mindset of I want to share that to other people. And when you have that mindset of sharing and inviting, nothing can happen to you. Really, it's not bad to have an objection because all you did is you're coming from a real good place, right? So this is what it's about, and it's never been easier. You know, like that. Me and Sean, we are actually not connected in our structure.
Right.
Yeah, he's in a different organization than I am, but I'm completely cool, and he's cool with working with me. Why? Because the more Heelys go out into the world, the more Heelys will be shared, the more people talk about it. The more people talk about it, the more it edifies the product. The more it edifies the product, the easier it is for us to share. You know, so the more information we have, online, offline, whatsoever, the more easy it becomes for us to share. Because I have heard about that. Show me something about it. And we have all these videos, we have all these Facebook groups. Look, it's a favor for all of us. You know, the more value we create into other organizations. Terran is not my organization, and how many videos, how many presentations, how many whatever we have done together, whatever we have created together. Her organization grows. It's good for my organization too, because we get so much value out of it. We get new experience, testimonials, videos out of it, right? And more people edify the product. So it is what we want to do. So don't focus too much on making the money. I mean, in the beginning, yes, you want your direct bonus. It's great, you know, get your money back from your investment, what you purchased the Heely for. It's beautiful. It's a good feeling. Yeah. But if your focus goes really about long-term building something amazing and change the world for something better, if you have that big vision or even a smaller vision and say like, I want to make the people around me feel better. I want to give the people around me an opportunity. There is no failing. To be honest, there is no failing.
There's these like two fundamental laws to financial success that again, I only care about results. These seem to be immutable laws of finance. The first is, in any situation, if I am committed to adding more value than I take, I literally want to give more than I take. I want to do a better job than what I get paid for. I want to add more value to somebody's life than I pull out. If these two laws, one, add more value than you withdraw in everything, relationships, your exercise, your businesses, if you had a job, whatever it is. And then the other one is just simply spend less than you make. I mean, and if you follow those two, no matter what, if you follow those laws, add more value than you try to pull out and spend less money than you make, you'll have financial success no matter what. There's literally no way to avoid having financial success if you follow those two laws from my experience.
Absolutely. Hey, I just try, because we're on the phone here, look at the Q&A. Maybe Leah, if you can come out and show us the question and answer. So
I can look if she sent us any of that.
Okay.
WhatsApp.
I just saw one question. about the physical. If we do physical events or physical meetings, look, that's the amazing thing about the energy of this product, right? Like we just had COVID and we're still having it, and we were at lockdown and we were all separated. But Heely tripled the numbers or doubled almost every month, right? Why? It's like people didn't even try the Heely and took the Heely. Like you don't need necessarily to meet people, let them try the Heely. It's not necessary. I mean, Sean, you proved it. You know, he didn't even have a chance to try the Heely, and he already shared 100 Heelys to other people. Yeah. And these people who you shared the Heely to, they didn't even try the Heely either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, some. There were a couple of Heelys in Utah that people were able to get to, or in California.
But the majority was actually
was without.
I mean, lately, until 2 months ago or whatever, we were not able to do meetings. We were not able to meet a lot of people, right?
They trusted the relationship.
They trusted the relationship and the information and what is out there. You know, that's what I mean. The more we share the Heely, you know, the more people have this experience, the more people share this experience. Like if I wouldn't have a Heely and I look around in those Facebook groups, testimonial groups, about the business opportunity, I would probably get myself a Heely without ever trying it, because I'm so fascinated about the idea. I'm so fascinated about all these experiences, right? So it's really, it's you don't need to, like, all these things, what we believe that are completely necessary, all the pressure we working out for ourselves, it's not necessary. If we really want to share something, if we really want to share an information, like for example, you have a beautiful video on YouTube that you think like, hey, watch this 3-minute YouTube video, you're going to get motivated. You're going to feel good about it. What are you going to do? You share that video because you want that person to feel good about something. And it's the same thing we do with Heely, right? And we can do it online, we can do it offline. So it's not necessarily necessary. Yeah. Is that what you
You can say that.
I can say that.
Hey, we have a really great question.
Okay.
So are we ready? Can we move on to the next one? Okay. This question: how are you dividing your time and energy with supporting your 100 people and those people in your binary versus getting new directs? Okay. We have only 15 directs and already 50 people in our binary now in such a short time. It's growing too fast. What a great problem, but help. That's how this said. And do you want to start? I have my own ideas, but go.
Yeah, first of all, you say only 15. I think 15 is shitloads, because if you do the math and multiply it, and you can get that 15, and somebody of those 15 get 15, there you go, right? So how do you
manage the time? How do you manage your time? And something I heard Max say, and I have a little different take, but I think it's really important. Max is discerning, right? You're discerning on who you work with, right? You pay attention to who are the rock stars because you only have so much time.
But you only will work with those two because some people that might not really work.
Exactly. So of those 50 people, not everybody's going to go.
Exactly.
So you keep your eye peeled for who's kicking ass, who's a rock star.
Yeah.
And you really put your energy into getting them self-reliant. Because if you can get them to self-reliant, you're good. Then you start to go on autopilot.
Perfect point. What we are doing right now, okay, this is a little bit of a different thing, but what you could do and what you actually should do and what every one of you should do, create a Facebook group for your organization. Now you have 50 people. What are you going to do? You create a Facebook group, invite everybody of these 50 people. Now you give them a platform where they can invite their people to. Now you have a platform where you can share the information about Healy. If this video comes on YouTube, you can share it in there. If there's other YouTube videos, share it in this group. So you create this group. Now you encourage your people of your 15 leaders or whatever. Maybe 5 of them, they say like, I really want to go for it. So tell them to do exactly the same. Yeah. Then you do one time a week, a webinar, an update call, a team call. Tell your story. How did you share the 15 Healys to your people? Yeah. Tell and invite those 15 people to share their own experience and their testimonials once a week. And tell everybody of those 15 people who have the 50 people, tell of those 50 people, bring some of their people and contact into your webinar. Let them hear about the amazing testimonials these 50 people have already. And this is how you build, right? And then, as you said, self-reliant.
Yeah. And here's a piece that I really want to share with how Leah and I, what's kept us able to do this. When in our first direct line, we found our few super rock stars, and we gave them energy and nurturing and love and got them to self-reliant. And then we built in Telegram. Our main source of communication is in Telegram. We built 3 different Telegram chats. So we have a huge kind of catch-all Telegram chat, and then we have our exclusive team Telegram chat, and then we have our ultra specific top 12 team Telegram chat. And so in the one with just there's 12 of us that are all kicking ass, in there we all support each other with questions and help each other. And then those people go into the one down that has like 300 people in it, and they add value into those groups. And so when people have questions and need support, they're getting it in that group, and there's 300 people in there that are answering each other's questions and supporting each other. This takes a lot of time off of me personally, because I may be asleep. They put a question into this group with 300 people, and somebody answers it for them. And then those people take that into the giant group with 5,000 people or whatever, and people throw in a support, and they're able to help each other. So you're slowly teaching people to teach others. That's really the whole trick. You're not teaching people how to catch a fish. You're teaching them, or not giving them a fish. You're teaching them how to fish. That type of thing.
There is no right or wrong.
Right.
It doesn't need to be a Facebook group. It can be Telegram. It can be WhatsApp.
Right.
But you want to create an environment where people can share their testimonials, their experiences, and share to the other people. Yeah. And you want to create, out of these 15 people, some of those people that do the same thing like you. Okay, because you need to work down, right? And you can't nurture an organization with 60,000 people, all the people. It's impossible.
And the way, to me, the way to accomplish that is in creating a team mindset. And it starts with you, the individual, or me, the individual, demonstrating through my action and demonstrating that I'm a team player, like what Max just talked about. You demonstrate that you're happy to give the $500 direct bonus to this guy to build the organization, that you're into the team. And then you will start to attract and build team players. And that's how it takes all of those little nitpicky things off of your plate. So let's see, should I read the next question? How do you make non-believers believe?
Don't.
Do not.
No, never.
Do
This is
not.
a waste of energy.
Be grateful that they're off of your plate so you can move on to the people who catch the vision.
Yeah.
If they catch the vision later, great, but do not try to convince.
There we are in the convincing. And we don't want to convince again. Like, look, you are here to help. You are here to serve. You want to introduce something to them. If they don't get it, it's fine. Then what you do is like, there's nothing wrong with following up, you know?
Yeah.
But you don't waste your energy and say like, oh, I'm having this objection, and
Yeah.
you feel bad about it and just try to push, because it's never going to go forward. These people need to come to you, right? It's okay to send once in a while, invite them, send them a video, whatever, and say like, hey, if you want to know more about it, just check this out. If they come, it's good. Meanwhile, I have a little bit of an arrogant mindset, which is like, if you don't understand how amazing this is and what amazing things it can do for you, I'm almost sorry. I'm sorry. And this is how I feel. So you tried your best to make somebody feel good. And if he doesn't understand, that's absolutely fine. And he might come back later.
And last question. What would you say is the #1 space to go to completely understand how the device works so that you can provide the best customer service and be able to answer and support your directs in the best manner possible? I am an energy healer and have never been involved with MLMs, but I want to fully support and have answers for all folks that buy from me. Thank you. You want to start with that?
Yeah. I mean, once again, what Sean said here, facts. For me, facts make the most of it.
Yeah.
Like, and facts we have in those testimonial groups, right? We have testimonials to share, results, exactly. Not only this, we have, of course, studies. On the Quantum Evolution group, we have a section you just type in the search function studies, and there's like loads of studies which you can find as well. And then again, it depends on the person who you're talking to, right? Some people want to know about studies and the physics behind it. Some people want to know about how does it work. Some people want to know about the business, right? So we need to pick and choose the right things. And on this one, and also it's combined with the last question, how to make non-believers believe. Wait, now I missed the point. No, I missed the point. No,
I'll pick up because
Thank you.
on ours, we have in Quantum Health Infinite Wealth, and anyone who's on here can join that too. We have a unit section, and that unit section, we hired an assistant who worked really hard on that and organized it. You can go into that unit section, and it's really well organized. It's as good as anything. So if you feel that somehow you're not getting the support and figuring out where to get all that stuff, you can literally send me a message directly at Sean P. Barnett on Facebook, and I'll direct you in the right area. But probably the person right above you, when you ask the person above you to help you and they figure it out, they become more self-reliant and stronger at this. And then the more that you go ahead and try and answer every time someone asks you a question that you don't know, when you figure out that, you're more valuable to the overall organization. And then if you build your own Facebook group, what Leah and I have done is every time we have a question that we don't know the answer to, we go find the answer somehow. Then we have an area in our Facebook group called Q&A. We type the question in and then type what the answer was. And now that stays there forever. So anyone else who comes across that question, they go to this Q&A, and you start to build this database with answers to all the questions that people ask.
And maybe one more thing, just remember, we are now 1.5 years in the business, and we don't have all the resources, right? The thing is, like, oftentimes when we have people that are not jumping in right now, it's a little bit, because we don't have all the resources yet. Let's face it, we don't have all the beautiful marketing. We don't have all the videos or have the only correct way where we can guide people to. I mean, we're working on it, but it's also now, it's about opportunity as well. Like when you come in now, and we don't have all those things, of course, it's more of a bumpy road. Of course, it's not that easy as it will be in a year from now. But right now, the opportunity is way different. It's the same like an investment in a startup, right? You come into the A funding round, and the risk is higher, the problems are bigger, but your return of investment might be 20x, 10x, 100x, 1000x. You come to B, it's a little bit different. You come to C, you're going to be safe. You see the business, you see the things and the blocks and the puzzle pieces already being built, but the opportunity is obviously not the same anymore. So it's also a little bit of for the business people here and the mindset of approaching those people. Yes, we are not perfect yet, right? But we're getting there. But right now is the best time to come in because the opportunity obviously is there because it's a blue ocean.
And we'll do another one of these webinars. We're running out of time, and Leah sent me, and I've got to follow. I always follow what my wife thinks. That's happy wife,
Really
happy
does.
life.
Yeah.
And what she's asked is that you do a quick, maybe 10-minute or a brief sort of business presentation to wrap this up. So here's exactly how she worded it.
We have to do exactly what you said.
Right? After that question, have Max do a brief 10-minute business presentation.
Okay. I mean, we talk about business all the time
Thanks,
already, right? Once again, I think for the presentation, like let's just narrow down those things what we've been discussing before, right? We are not in the direct sale business. However, we have a device which is between $500 to $2,500, and we have a very juicy direct commission on it. And it's a high-ticket item, juicy commission. It's amazing. So we are able to share it to 3 to 5 people, which we are actually for everybody who's new. We have a fast start bonus. That means the moment you buy the device, the moment you sign up with Healy, you have 30 days. In this 30 days, you manage to refer or recommend 3 times the Healy to 3 people. You will get a fast start bonus. That means you get a free resonance device if you already have the resonance. If you have a smaller package, you get a free upgrade, right? This is a beautiful way to kickstart your business. It's a beautiful way to receive a second device because you want to have a second device. I know we do online, we do, everything, but it's nice to have a second device so you can give it to other people that can try it. And
and then you can still have your own.
It's tough if you give your own away. I did it yesterday, last night. It was tough for me too.
Yeah.
That's the way how to fast start your bonus. Then of course we have the direct bonus, right? You send your link to one person. And we don't have a warehouse. We don't have stock. We don't have staff. I mean, you guys, we have staff now because it's getting, but you don't need that, and you don't have a box with you that you need to sell to somebody. All you need to do is send somebody a link, invite somebody to register, invite somebody to sign up. That person then purchase whatever the person loves to purchase, and you will receive a direct commission. This is how you start as a direct sale. But again, we're not knocking doors and trying to directly sell. We're building teams, right? So after the direct sale, we have our binary tree, which is a left leg and a right leg. So your position is here, you have a left leg and a right leg, and everybody has a left leg and a right leg. And you will get paid out of the weaker leg. The weaker leg is the leg where less volume have been produced, where less Healys have been bought. There, from this leg, you get paid 15%. And the binary is really what we need. One thing, like for all of you guys starting, because oftentimes we get the question like, how do we build the binary? And I think there even was one question, how do we build and how we build the binary? Again, there is no right or wrong because we can't predict the future. Yeah. You can't put somebody in your right leg and that person, you don't know what he's doing. You just don't know.
It's so surprising.
So
people will surprise you no matter what.
Exactly. Always expect the unexpected. By doing so, however, I would always recommend you go for teams. Think about who do you want to have to work with. If you have somebody, if you live in Colorado and you have your Colorado people, put them in your left leg. All of them. So they're all connected. They can do live meetings and whatever, because it's a good feeling if they're building those teams together. If you have somebody in Greece, because you're half Greece, half American, put your Greece people in the right leg, in the other side, right? So in order to have all the Greek people work together, they can do presentations together. So I think this is really the only advice in order to build your binary. Just think about long-term team growth. Who can support each other? Because there's nothing worse than you have people not being related together, but they're jealous of each other. I don't know. I've never seen that in Healy, but it might happen for some people. So you give them a good harmonic feeling of how to work with who, So, and then you get paid 15% of the weaker leg. That means the leg where you have less volume in, okay? The leg where you have less volume produced from Healy sales, this is where you get 15% paid. So if you have in this organization, let's say 1 million points, which is $1 million US, let's say 1 million points on the left side, and 100,000 on the right side, you get paid from your 100,000 points because it's the lower amount of points. And therefore you get 15%, which is $15,000 or euros, whatever we're talking about, monthly in your position, if you have that in your binary. And that's the binary bonus. And the beautiful thing about binary bonus is you are now connected to so many people you would have no chance in this life to be connected with if you would not work with this business. And that's the amazing thing. Now you globally connected. We're a global company. There could be people from Korea jumping in, people from Thailand.
We haven't opened Korea yet, but it's about to open. Right?
Yeah, it's about to open. End of the year, if everything works fine, it'll be a pre-launch in Korea end of the year. But what I mean is like, come on, no matter what country you go, you will be exposed to new contacts, new friendships. And this is such a beautiful side effect.
It's such a cool thing. like being from the way I grew up, man, my world was just tiny, you know, and it was like, oh, the only place I can make money is in Salt Lake or whatever. And then even if you open it up, oh, I can make money in the whole country. And to be able to be like, oh, I can just travel the world and meet people and share my experience and start to build a global network. It's amazing. I look around all the time in my life and I'll be like, holy shit, me and Leah are the only Americans in our entire circle of friends at certain events or whatever, you know, the Freedom Five, where 2 Americans, 2 Australians, and a German. And, you know, some of your strongest, where you're making the most money is in Thailand of all places. And, but I mean, everywhere.
Thailand, USA,
Yeah, USA,
no, it's
Europe.
true. And lastly, we have the matching bonus. Okay, and matching bonus is so fantastic. It's on top of the binary, right? So we're getting distracted by a question that just came in. But I want to
Keep on matching bonus.
matching bonus. Okay. Now, how to explain the matching bonus? Matching bonus is like that. If Sean brings me into the business, that means he gives me his link. I sign up with him. Now I'm his first level because he gives me his link. He's become my sponsor. So I'm his first level. Okay, I'm his first level.
Another word is generation.
I'm his first generation. Okay, we call it generation. We call it level. It's the first thing. The same thing. So now whatever I earn in the binary, remember the left, right, and the right leg, whatever I earn, let's say I earn $10,000 per month, he will make of this $10,000, I receive the $10,000, but he makes 10% of this $10,000 as well, which is $1,000 just because he brought me into the business. Yeah, just because I bought a Healy, just because I decided I want to share Healy, just because I decided I built my binary tree, he will forever makes 10% of what I earn in the binary. Now, if I go and I love Healy so much and I share it to Leah, his wife, and Leah buys a Healy, that would be weird actually if Leah buys a Healy for me if I got to buy. But maybe, you know, you're building teams, you never know. So I get it, I bring it to Leah, Leah signs up, she buys a Healy. Now Leah is my first level because I'm the sponsor, right? Leah's my first level.
Yeah.
So now I earn and I make 10% of whatever Leah makes in the binary. Now, when Leah is my first level and I'm his first level, what is Leah to him?
Second level.
Second level. Second generation. So
Generation.
So that means he still makes 5%, depending on what rank he is, on whatever Leah is earning in the binary.
There's some semantic, there's some qualifications and things, but this is the
actually general. Now it's actually really interesting. Now you see Leah's second level already for him. Now Leah goes out and signs up John. Now John is Leah's first level. John is my second level. I make 5% on John, and it's his third level, and he still makes 5%, depending on what rank he is. Right? Now John goes out and he brings in Anna. Now Anna is John's first level, Leah's second level, my third level, his fourth level. Now back to the team building thing. You know, in the fourth level, he still earned money. Back to the team level thing. Imagine you have 100 first lines, like he has. Imagine of these 100 first lines, everybody goes out and brings in 10 people. 10 in average. That means he is 1,000 second line. That means he earns 1,000 times 5% on his second level. Like these people, they might earn like $100, some of them 10,000. Just imagine you earn 5% on 1,000 people. Now these 1,000 people, if the teamwork is done correctly, they get 10. So now he has 10,000. If 10,000 people in a third level, where he now makes 100, 10%, 1,000, 5%, and another 10,000, 5%. Okay, on 10,000 people, he makes 5%. Now, if these 10,000 people go out,
just get 10. Just as far as we're gonna go.
Get 10.
We're at 100,000.
We are 100,000. Like just you know, just you understand what we're trying to say, right? So this is why you want to work in teams. This is how it works, right? So that's why, whatever, you know. And if we don't reach the fourth level, so look, I'm connected and I give people to my 7th, 8th level sometimes. They reach out to me on social media. They come from America and I give it to a person in America who's in my 7th level or whatever. It's fine. I'm not connected in the matching bonus, but I'm still connected in the binary bonus. You know, so don't worry about those levels too much. Yeah. Also, they have the binary bonus, which is catching everything. So what I mean, the idea is really, we gotta build deep. We gotta think long term. You want to help your teams. You want to put those right people working together, and you get the most benefit out of it. And it's so beautiful because you make a lot of people happy.
Yeah, that was really the theme of this: is build fast and build deep. Really expose it by just sharing it to the people that you think might be interested, and let the chips fall where they may. Then once you have some people, go to that mindset of add to the pie, add to the pie, add value to the pie. The more you do that, it will work out. And then how Taryn had explained it to us, and this is really sound advice. Taryn said, just follow that formula as hard as you can for 6 months, and then you'll be able to strategize better. Like at that point, you'll understand things a little better, and then you can get into more of the sophisticated strategies that you might want to do. But following that advice, and on the binary, like Max said, importantly, on whatever leg it is, just keep people together that are in the same either geographical or similar mindset. You know, if they're chiropractors, all chiropractors together, or family members together, or, you know, for
Countries.
us, whatever,
Global
countries together,
countries.
cities together, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's,
And have fun with it. You know,
Yeah.
that's another thing, is like enjoy every single bit. When you make sharing to your responsibility, go out and love it. You know, just do the good thing. You know, this is it, and nothing can shock you anymore. You don't need to convince. You don't need to convince a disbeliever. It's fine. Don't. It's okay. You don't need to believe. It's fine. Just have fun with it. Learn from the objection. Learn from it. You know, try to cope with it and learn. The most important thing is learn. Oh, maybe this is what I want to give you on the way as well. We are in the energy business, right? What happens when we get an objection? Like, it's lowering our energy. Sometimes it flattens me out, right? And then when we're in this little hole of energy, what we're doing is we are getting depressed, we're getting frustrated. We reach out to more people. We're going to make that sale, you know? When you're in that state, you don't make anything.
I was just about to say that yes, we keep talking about teams, but it always starts with the individual. And this is, to me, my Healy. It's my actual device that I use every day to get myself in the best place I can be, so that as an individual, I am thriving. And when I thrive as an individual, my influence ripples out. I have relevancy and rapport because I am thriving. And it always starts every day with whatever your ritual. Every day has a season, just like every year, every month. You know, there's a spring, summer, fall, winter. There's that morning when you're starting your day. Use your Healy, get centered. And then the summer, the midday sun, work your ass off. At the end of the day, reap some of the benefits, connect, whatever, and then go into winter and go to sleep. And it's always by taking care of self first, the individual first, then letting that ripple out. That's the formula.
Exactly. So if you want to put yourself in a good energy every time before you reach out to anybody, because we are in the energy business and energy communicates. That's the thing. If you're in a bad mood, bad energy, frustrated, you will never be successful in doing what you do. So just make yourself take a bath, go barefoot on the grass, have a session with your Healy, mental balance, whatever, you know, and then feel good about yourself. I'm using positive thoughts every time before I go to a meeting, just because I love that program. And when you're in the right state of mind, then it's very easy to, you know, bring people, because it's contagious. It's contagious. Use the energy of other people. You know, when you're on the same mission together, things are getting so easy, so much easier. So I think
we'll probably do another one. I could go on and on.
I know.
I can stuff. So maybe we'll do another one soon. And we're going to be putting together a mastermind. We talked earlier about how, you know, once you have 2 people on the same vision, and then 3 people and 4 people, it becomes more and more powerful. The power of minds connecting and being on the same wavelength and being on the same team towards the same goal has extreme power. So
yeah, we're going to put together a mastermind
will.
for mindset, for how to succeed in business, and then really step by step how to build the business.
And in any of the comments on any of these platforms, if you can either tag me or Max, or just post "I'm interested in mindset," we'll reach out to you as we're building this, and that would be awesome.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
brother.
you for having me in my villa.
Yeah. Max met with the staff before we moved in.
I know.
Yeah.
And they love me.
They do. He's part
guys,
of the family.
Thank you so much. Everybody, goodbye, and have a great night in America. Have a great day in Australia. Have a great whatever, wherever you are. And yeah, put some comments on we're in the Quantum Evolution group. This video will be recorded and will stay there if you want to share it for later on. And then until then, yeah, thank you also. Thank you everybody for being here. It's been a pleasure serving you guys. Bye bye.